Welcome to the Leadership Challenge Show once again here on EBN TV. It's always a joy to have you, and it's always a joy to strike this conversation on the issues and matters that affect leadership in our country and in many institutions. We thank God that we have another time to talk again. And if you can remember, last time, previously, we talked about the leadership that is in parenting, leadership in parenting. And in our discussion, we found out that the leadership in parenting is so foundational, is so key, is so important. And if you fail in the leadership in the parenting, even if you lead in other places, you still will be a failure because already the foundation is destroyed. We pick up the conversation again today, and I'm glad that my friend, Dr. Nyaga, is again together with us to help us dissect these matters on parenting. And definitely our society is bleeding from failures that are caused during parenting. And we must impact the leadership at the family level. Dr. Nyaga, you are welcome again.
I'm so happy to be here again. And I really thank Reverend Kavoi for allowing me again to be on this platform so that we can indulge ourselves into these issues pertaining parenting and be able to bring out some of the things that are hidden.
Yes.
Be able to look at what has been assumed and be able to put it in the right perspective.
Yes.
I believe viewers, we are going to be receiving some very intricate issues that are going to be of help to us as we apply them in our parenting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We look forward to this, and please fasten your seatbelts. We are taking off. Dr. Today we press on with our discussion.
Yes.
And last time when we talked here, we discussed about some intricate matters that relate to parenting.
Yes.
I would like you quickly to bring us to speed, maybe by recapping some of the things we said, and then we press on from there.
Reverend, I remember we said some of the things that are really intricate and are lacking. Number one, we are lacking giving time to our children.
Yes, that one came out so loudly.
Yes.
We don't have time for our children, and we don't sacrifice for it.
We don't
and you know the good thing about it, Doctor, is that you are practically parented.
Yes.
And you are willing to pay any price that was for the children to be brought up in the right way, in the right parenting.
That's right.
Yes.
And that is what we would call our people to do. If we are going to leave a legacy in this country and in our society, legacy is not about good businesses. Legacy is not about great, and riches and wealth. Legacy is about values.
It's about values.
Legacy is about values. It's about attitudes that we are living and we are putting in our children. And values are made at home, not anywhere else. Values are developed right from home.
Wow.
In our family setup, that's where we develop values.
Yes.
If we miss that, then we miss everything.
So we need time for it.
We need time for it.
Yeah.
We talked about having some good communication with our children.
Yes, we mentioned about communication.
Yeah, and we said this communication is not monologue. We should make it
engaged children.
We engage them so that they can speak to us, we can speak to them, we can converse.
We can converse.
And when we are conversing, we are able to see to catch the spirit they are in, and they're able to catch the spirit in us. And that we are able to be able to move on.
Yeah.
We talked about loving our children.
Loving our children.
Yes. if you love, you sacrifice.
You sacrifice.
And you realize this, like, this is just a circle. Because it is circling around one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you love, you sacrifice. In the sacrifice, you're giving time.
You're giving
In
time.
sacrifice, you're giving yourself, your energy, your blood.
Yes.
In the sacrifice, you're giving your resources.
And you're also humbling to communicate.
That's it.
Because many parents, if they will not come down, they will speak from the high tower.
That's right.
And they will be speaking down to the children.
That's right.
And children will rebel.
They'll be yelling instead of communicating with them.
Yeah.
I talked about rewarding and motivating our children.
Yeah.
If I remember, I think I touched on those.
Yes.
Now today I want to go a little bit deeper, touching the parent himself or herself. A parent requires to develop strong inner convictions.
Strong inner convictions.
Yes. Convictions that are coming from within. These are not external. They are not extrinsic. They are intrinsic.
They are intrinsic.
That conviction that is coming within you, asking yourself, am I bringing the right family or am I bringing the wrong family? What is right with my children? What is wrong with my children? If we fail to discover that, then we are not able to mend where things are going wrong.
Yes.
And that conviction must come from within, because it has to be very deliberate. Deliberate as in, what I am doing, I'm not being pushed.
Yes.
It's coming from within me.
From within,
Understanding and knowing that these children, they did not request to come into this world.
They did not.
They did not. They did not apply to be born.
Wow. Yeah.
They never applied.
That's powerful.
I deliberately brought
them here
into this world.
Wow.
And so,
are you hearing that, parents?
If you brought these children here, and they never applied, then they are also not going to apply for you to make them to be what they are supposed to be.
You know, one of my daughters is doing law, and he started to introduce a discussion, I think they call in law, when they deal with family matters, especially where separations come. They begin to talk about issues of the marriage. And the issues of the marriage are children. Actually, children in law, they are called issues. You carry on. I just remembered that.
So, what is it that we are cultivating in the children? What standards are we setting for them? What values are we inculcating in them? That has to come from the conviction that you have.
That we have.
Personally, I have a godly foundation. And so everything that I do from a very godly. The Bible is my standard. Therefore, whatever I'm putting in the children, I have that conviction that this must be within the godly standards. They are not going to contradict the godly standards. And I believe when parents will look at it from that perspective, we don't mess up. Because this responsibility is God-given. However much we try to deviate from God, I know some of the people that are watching us, they are not born again, they are not Christians. And Bible ni modonua, they don't read
on the other side.
It's on the other side. But whatever way, we need to realize that the standard of life is measured from the Word of God, because that's where the standard is.
And God is the owner of life.
And the God is the giver and the owner of life. So when we do that, then with those inner conviction, then we get to the second thing. You are able to become a good role model. You become a role model to your children. If you look at young children while they are playing, the kind of games they play, father-mother games, those games will actually be showing the kind of mother, the kind of father they have in the house. They will behave exactly.
So every time we find children playing that game of cooking and doing some, they are reflecting, they are like copying what they saw
That's
at
it.
home.
Actually, even the tone, when they begin talking, you realize that even the tone is changing. Because
to
they
mimic their mother.
Yes, they are actually bringing out what they have seen, what they have heard
and in the father.
in their mother and their father. So what kind of modeling are you doing? Now, if you find a child in the while they are playing there, and you find a child trying to smoke, where
in the small play they are doing.
Yes, where did they catch it?
They saw the father smoking or the mother.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you see them trying to say they are drinking, it's because they saw it.
Na wanalewa hivi.
This is it.
Yes.
Yes. And they will be able to duplicate exactly what they see their parents do.
Yeah.
And so parents, we need to understand that we have a great role to play because these children are copying from us.
Yes.
And you know what they catch at that particular age, that is what they will live with.
Yeah.
And they will go by it.
That's what they will become.
Yes, and that's what they will become. It is, I have a neighbor right now who is struggling with his class 7 and class 8 children who are so much into drinking so far. They class are so 8. Much into, yes. And so the man came fighting. They were, I think he was running after the boy to beat him up. And the boy was running towards our gate. And so I happened to be outside the gate and I was thinking, what is happening? So the man is telling me, you know, this young boy is just drinking and drinking and drinking. He is not even thinking about Sunday. So I asked him, whom do you think he took after?
You were ready for that?
Yes. You must have been ready for it because that is what you are.
Yes.
You come home drunk. What do you expect of him? Yeah? And when you come home drunk, they steal money from you. Because you're asking, where do they get money from? They get it from your pockets.
When you are drunk?
When you are drunk. And when you come and sleep, they will get into your pocket, they will steal money, and they will also go and drink. And you know, Reverend, unfortunately today, and I don't know why the government is not looking into this, bars, wines and spirits.
Those small shops.
Small shops.
Yeah.
They have come right in the estates.
Yes.
And they are at the exposure. However much we say you don't sell to below 18, these guys are in business. And they want money.
Yeah.
And they don't care who buys and what you do with what you
And I
have
think that's
bought.
something you can appeal to the government right now to remove these small wines and spirits from the estates.
Honestly, government officials, our chiefs, and our DOs and whoever, the administrators, kindly let's look at this because this is really destroying the family.
Yeah.
We have allowed the wines and spirit shops to come right at the gates of our estates.
Yeah.
When we walk out, that's what we are finding. When we are sending children to the shops, that's what they are finding. And they can be able to buy these sachets of wines, even at as little as 10 shillings, 10 shillings.
Wow.
Things that are very, very affordable.
Terrible.
This is very terrible. We need to remove this. And I appeal to our government to actually do something about it. This is dangerous.
Please.
This
Government
is not right.
officials who are receiving and watching this program, please act immediately. Remove wines and spirits shops from the apartments and the estates where children are playing. And I think we can carry on.
And again, also on that note, the KBS, the Kenya Bureau of Standards, should be able to give directions on, even if it's those sachets, what are the measures and what are the costs. They should be able to put price tags that young children cannot afford. But not just 10 shillings and 20 shillings, 50 shillings, which they can correct and they
go
just go and buy. Yes. So, as I try to wide up on these intricacies
parenting,
we also need to develop persistence as parents. Many parents give up so easily. They give up so easily.
And I believe there's a parent watching this program, they are giving up.
When a challenge strikes, they give up easily. And it's good to develop persistence. Nothing comes easily. The good that I am proud of today, it didn't come easily. I paid the cost for it. And so be ready to pay the cost. And it's very, very important, Reverend, that we know you don't sow today and you expect to reap the same day. So there is time. Between sowing and harvesting, there is time. And that time is called persistence. It's called patience. You've got to be patient with your children. And more, especially those children that are in teenage right now and young adults who have indulged themselves in these issues. We need to be very patient with them, even as we help them to come out of these challenges.
Yeah.
Because it is possible and it is workable. If only we do it with a lot of love and with a lot of patience with them, they will definitely overcome.
Yeah.
And finally, I want to talk about exposure.
Exposure.
Yeah. How much have we exposed ourselves as parents to good parenting?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much have we done it? Do we have people that we can look up as mentors in our parenting? As I was bringing up our children, I was looking up at one couple, and I'm not worried of mentioning them. Galvan and Esther, they were by my best couple. In my wedding. And they really helped us in learning some of the tricks in terms of bringing up. And so we got very much exposed. They gave us materials to read on parenting, so that even before we begin meeting the challenges, we are already aware that these challenges can come, and how would we go into them or around them. Very, very important.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I should be able to show some of the materials that I have, resources that I have used over time, and they have been able to be of help to me. Yes,
wow.
Sir.
Wow. That's very deep understanding on parenting. And I think we will take a short break. When we return, we want to look at different styles of parenting.
That's right.
And how each one affects the children.
That's right.
Thank you. Don't go very far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our discussion of today here on EBN TV. Leadership Challenge Show is the show you are watching right now. And we are pressing on with the discussion on the leadership in parenting. And with us in studio is Dr. Wesley Nyaga to help us in understanding the issue of parenting. Daktari.
Yes, sir.
Are there different styles of parenting? Yes, it is.
Yes. There are different types of styles of parenting. And there are many.
Does this affect how one child looks from the other child?
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Pick it up.
So basically, there are several different styles of parenting, but many psychologists have put them together and come up with at least four.
At least four.
Four. I always try to add a fifth one myself.
Yes.
And so I will mention the one that I earned as the
That's
last
good.
one.
You're an expert in that.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, the first style is called authoritarian.
Authoritarian type of parenting.
Yes,
Okay.
authoritarian style.
And what does this entail?
Other people will call it disciplinarian.
Oh, okay.
Others will call it dominant.
Dominant.
Yes.
Wow. You
Now,
can't forget that.
With those terminologies, then you can be able to already come up with the definition. What kind of a parent is that?
Yes.
This is someone who has, the parent that has totally usurped the authority. Your rules and regulations that you have set, they cannot be changed. a very rigid parent, and you have set very high standards and expectations.
Wow.
And that kind of a parent has very few words. He is not able, she is not able to explain
why
to the child even what is that he is expecting or she is expecting.
Yes.
They have no, very few words at all to explain. Because if the child asks you, why that? You will not be able to say. You will say...
Does that parent even allow that question, why? Why are you asking? Why are we doing it this way?
Being a disciplinarian,
yeah,
of course it also depends on what kind of a child you are addressing. Some children will respond. And you see, as a disciplinarian, because they are very few ones, they tend to respond with actions.
And what are those actions?
Slapping,
kicking,
pushing, yeah,
pinching, pulling the ears.
Yeah, all even yelling, shouting very loudly to scare.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can imagine what kind of parenting is that. This person is not able to offer warm and caring support to the child.
To the children.
Because in that kind of style, there is already a very big gap between you
and the child. Oh.
I don't know, Mr. Kavoi, Reverend, whether you can remember our education system.
Yes.
Those days.
Wakati wa CPE.
Yes.
Yes.
Those CPE times.
Yeah, CPE times.
You remember, there are things that we were taken through which were very good.
Yes.
Like in terms of respect, it was very good.
Yes.
You would see an adult and you stand.
Yes.
You couldn't sit when an adult is standing. Whether in a public service vehicle or in an office or in a hospital.
Yeah.
If you are seated and an adult comes, you stand.
You stand. And nobody asks you to do that.
Nobody.
You are just disciplined.
It was intrinsic. It was right in us.
Inside us.
When walking along on the road.
On the road, yes.
And you meet with an adult, you stand.
Go to the side.
You go to the side and you stand.
Road. Yes.
And if it was a teacher coming along, even if it's in the village.
You disappear into the bush.
Well, we wouldn't really disappear that, but at least if we were playing, you would stop playing. And you stand until he passes. And you greet him.
Yes.
Yes. That was the discipline.
Yes.
So you see, as much as that discipline was good, it denied children to have that close fellowship and relationship with the teachers.
With the teachers, yeah.
You couldn't
it was very rigid.
You couldn't go asking the teacher a question. When you don't understand, you would rather contact your colleagues.
Classmates, yes.
But not the teacher.
Yeah.
That kind of relationship or parenting, when we apply today, it doesn't work. What kind of children are bred out of that?
That's what I wanted to ask.
These kind of children become resistant.
So children that will be brought up by authoritarian kind of parenting,
yes,
will be
rebellious. Yes.
They would tend to rebel.
They will tend to rebel. And these are the children, when they go out to the society, they are not able to follow the laws and the regulations that are set.
They have learned how to defeat rules at home.
Yes, because everything they have done at home is to develop defensive mechanism.
Oh.
That's what they develop. So they do not want to do what they are being told, but they have their own defensive mechanism. If they don't do what the father says or what the mother says, they have their own way of going around why they never did it.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that kind of parenting, especially in today's society.
Yeah.
In the olden days, traditionally, it happened there was a lot of authority also in that kind of parenting. But I think we need to relax.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad, but let's look at the pros and cons.
Yeah.
The cons are more than the pros. There are more disadvantages in that kind of parenting than the advantages. In that you lose your children.
Yeah.
Because you see what happens, Reverend, you are only containing that child when he is within your vicinity. The moment they go out, that child is at liberty. Akona ule uhuru. So anasema, I'm not under that police. I'm not being policed. Yeah?
Paka akitoka,
yeah. Panya anatawala. Hiyo ndio sasa.
Okay.
So, you know, that's the kind of style. It's called authoritarian.
And
dominant.
I thought we could press more because I think I've met with, as a pastor,
yes,
I've met some young people and children that are coming from such kind of parenting.
Backgrounds, yes.
And I find them so timid and have no confidence in anything they do. Yeah, I wish you could press on, because as you tell us how authoritarian leadership will reflect on the child, then the parents will be able to say, no, I don't want my child to be timid in life, no confidence at all in anything they do.
Probably as we look at these other styles, we will be able to
find out.
To find out.
Yes.
Because if you find you have been applying the authoritarian, the disciplinarian, that dominance, if you find that is not working for you and it has not worked for you, then there are other alternatives.
Yes.
Yes.
But it is not the best.
But it's not the best.
It's not recommended.
It's not the best. You can draw one or two things from it, but it's not the one that would recommend. Yes.
Okay, but it of course there is a firmness that is needed.
But
it's not all sale good.
That firmness is just like everywhere
where
the leadership is not just in parenting, but where leadership, even you as a pastor.
Yeah.
I know you have elders in the church. Yeah? There is a place where you require to be a bit firm and a bit rigid. And you say, now, with this one, whether you go with it or not,
this is the way
this is the way
now.
That's it. Yeah? So, there is...
But not all the time.
But not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. So, we are saying it's a style. We are not saying it is something that you program yourself to. So, you have to pick. You will have to pick maybe where do you need to be a bit rigid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Do you think like there is something that causes some parents to behave this way, authoritarianly?
Yes.
Yeah. There are some things.
Of course, there are occasions that will arise with the children.
Yeah.
Especially the very young children, when they are coming up in, the age between 0, not 0, but maybe age 3 months, going all the way, there are things that you want to develop in this child, and you have to be rigid. Yeah. If it is time for sleeping, it is time for sleeping. So if the child still wants to continue watching TV, you say no, and you put off the TV. A child wants to continue playing with the toys, no. That is, you are rigid, but it's because there is something you are developing
into them. Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
But as they grow up, you need to go relaxing. Because these children also, they come to a point where they also require their freedom. And they also need to express themselves.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, you cannot be rigid.
Yeah.
And that's where you realize some parents are coming into head-on collision with their children. Yeah? Because a child is trying to express themselves, but here you are. What you have said must be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I was asking,
yes,
do you think there are maybe the parents could be going through something, either frustration at places of work? Are there causes that make a parent to develop authoritarian kind of approach into parenting?
Sure, there are. when a parent is going through issues, probably like health issues.
Like health issues, they tend to be
a bit, rigid, and they feel like you are not listening to them, simply because they, maybe a parent is bedridden, can't wake up to fight you or to kick you around, then, that causes. But there are also issues like stress.
Stress.
Yes, because of life issues.
Because of life issues.
Today, people are going through a lot of stress. You need this, you can't afford this.
Yeah.
The children need this, they can't afford. You can't afford it. Yes, and you have no
money.
jobs, there is no money. And all that, they make you to become a bit rigid. And sometimes we also do. I also do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if only what I have is the only what I have, is the only thing I have, and I'm not having any extra, then I also have to be a bit rigid in the way it's being used.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that rigidity is there. So if it's my son, I'm giving him pocket money, I'll tell him, hey, that which I've given you must push you between now and the midterm. Yeah? And I have to be rigid on that.
Yeah, rigid on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, this is a style, it's an approach, and sometimes it's prompted by a situation.
It's caused by other things.
Yes.
How do you think the problems in marriage affect parenting? So that they become now as authoritative. As this way. Yeah.
Yeah. Where there is disrespect between the father and the mother, the husband and the wife.
Yes.
Where there is no love, where there is oppression,
yes.
One party is oppressing the other.
Yeah.
That oppression tends to be pushed to the children.
Or they vent it out on the children.
Yes, they vent it out on the children. You find you coming from your bedroom, you are bulged. And so when the child comes to meet you,
just slap.
Yes. Which is not fair.
And they are just asking for a pencil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is not fair. That lack of support for one another in marriage. It becomes very, very hard. Especially on the children. And you see, I always say this when I'm telling especially the fathers. I tell them, the only way you can show love to your children is by loving their mother. If you want to love your children, love their mother, care for the mother, support your mother. When they see that love, genuine love, care and warmth, they know it will definitely trickle to them.
And the security to
and
them.
The security. But if in this house it's just
quarreling and fighting and pushing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What happens when you come to the table? And sometimes we fight before the children.
Yeah, there are very bad habits by parents.
So what do you expect if you slap?
Or insulting and shouting.
Yeah, or you shouting. You are yelling to your husband, or you are yelling to your wife, or you are hitting your husband or your wife. Or even you are holding a knife threatening, I'm going to...
And the child is standing there.
Oh. What do you expect of that? That child would, anytime they hear the car hooting or the gate being open, they want to run away because they don't know what they are going to expect. And we have had such kind of cases. And so, I would want to tell parents, if you are working, na ukasirishwe na boss, hizo maasira zako uache huko kwa ofisi.
Usilete.
You will pick them up the following day. Usizilete kwa nyumba.
Usilete home.
Yes.
Yes.
If you quarrel with your husband huko kwa bedroom, muachie tu huko.
Don't bring it to the
sitting room. And don't take it to the children's bedroom.
Yeah.
Because again, that's where the problem comes. Mukikwaruzana kwa bedroom, mama anatoroka, anaenda kwa bedroom ya watoto. Unaenda kujisqueeze kwa kitanda ya watoto. What are you trying to show the children? Mambo kule sio si mazuri. Na unawaambia, unajua baba yenu ananichapa. Baba yenu ananichuna. Baba yenu
sympathy from children.
So, what are you trying to impart in those children? They begin to fear their father. those children cannot, they'll be running away from their father.
Yeah.
And this gap, a very big gap develops between them and their father, which is very dangerous. Authoritative, authoritarian method of or style of parenting is not the best.
Wow.
We can borrow, like I've said, a few things from it, but we should not hold into it as a way of parenting.
Wow. I knew we do not really have enough time to go through the style, but I think even if we cover 4 and cover them well, it will be beneficial
to the parent,
to the viewer that is watching this program. And my dear viewer, we have covered authoritarian type of parenting, and we have also seen that it could be caused by external factors that are causing parents to be harsh and unkind to their children. And a lot has come out. I know you are looking forward, you are asking, what are the other types of parenting? We take a short break, we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. We are here on EBN TV in the Leadership Challenge Show, and we are focusing very much on parenting. And we started to deal with the issues of styles of parenting. And in the previous session, we discovered or we talked about the authoritarian type of parenting. And our teacher here was quick to point out that it is not the best. Parents should not go for it. We also found out that it could be caused by external factors at your place of work, or maybe poverty, lack of job, and lack of money. And Dr. will be talking to us more about that one. But I really would want to hear what are the other styles of leadership. And as we come to get all of them, Dr. will be kind enough to point the most ideal for style of parenting, so that now parents can begin working towards that type of parenting. Okay,
thank you. Before I pick up on the next style of parenting, Reverend, I would want to mention the parents also tend to be authoritative when their children become also disrespectful.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see now the connection.
You see?
Yeah.
The teenage, and this will come especially with the teenage, the youth, and the young adults.
Yeah.
And this happens when these children begin to get the exposure.
Oh.
They are getting exposure out there.
Maybe to bad children.
They have now got into the wrong company. Of children. They are adhering to peer pressure. And I think that's something we will take a session and talk about peer pressure on our children, on our youths, and how can we help them overcome that. So when this child comes and begins to deflect some of the things that you never expected as a parent, you want to find out where has this come from. And you want to instill authority. I don't want this.
So that they stop it.
Yes. But you see, at the end of the day, Reverend, it all falls back to the parent.
Oh.
It all falls back to the parent.
The parent is the driver.
Yes, you are the driving force. Because if you did well at the childhood stage, by this time the child is becoming a teenage, he is already fully established that he cannot be moved or shaken by the pressures out there.
And he understands the boundaries.
Yes. Because this child knows the boundaries that are set for him, the boundaries that are set for her, and the child also is able to set his or her own boundaries. Doesn't need to consult your mom or the mom or dad on what to do out there. They set their own boundaries. So as a result of that, when they go out there, they get exposure and they begin to capture some of the wrong things and bring them home. Then also you find the parent wants to stamp authority and they become authoritative at that time. What you'll get to realize is there is not, even as we discussed, there is no one style that we will say this is it.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Is that so?
No. When it comes to parenting, it's a combination.
So it's dynamic.
It's dynamic. It's a combination of all these styles.
Oh.
Because at some time you will be authoritative. At the other times you will be authoritarian, which I am going to discuss. Other times you will be freestyle. Yeah. Other times you will be uninvolved. Yeah. You get it? Because it will depend on the situation. What are you addressing at that particular time? So we are not saying that there is one style that you're going to pick up and say, this is going to be my style and the ideal style.
Okay.
Yes. Right.
Okay, so now what is the, now, so we have seen the authoritarian.
Yes.
Are we right on that? Authoritarian.
Yes.
But I understand also the other one is also as close to that
as
one.
Close to that. It's called authoritative.
Authoritative.
Yes.
And
So
what is the difference? Okay, carry on.
Now the difference is,
Yes.
in the authoritative, you are firm but not rigid.
Oh.
You are firm.
So
So
the authoritarian is final.
It's final.
But the authoritative, you are firm.
You are firm.
But you
are not
flexible.
final. You are flexible. You are able to discuss with your child.
I think authoritative authoritative sounds better. I don't know. Sorry.
Authoritative is good.
Yes.
Because it allows conversation. You strike,
but at the same time maintains the firmness.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you realize you want this done, and the child will bring argument. All right. Why I should not do, or why should I?
Yeah.
And you see, in that kind of argument, the good thing is it is helping you to understand your child. It is helping you to know my child is maturing. It is helping you to know my child is becoming decisive. Can be able to make a decision.
Yeah.
My child can be able to make a stand. Yeah. My child can be able to say a no, which means no, or a yes, which means yes.
Yeah.
Because you are in this authoritative kind of a style of parenting, you are actually offering warm support and encouragement to your child.
Authoritative.
Yes. So as you offer that, you'll find that there is bonding between you and your child. Yeah.
So you can give a rule, I want it this way, but also help the child to do it that way.
Yes, because you are explaining why you want it done
and
that way.
And offering support at the same time for the child to do it the right way.
That's it.
Wow.
Let me just cite an example. My daughter is in the university, the second born.
Yes.
She is taking hotel and international, international, kind of catering. Okay, let's just call it catering.
Yeah.
And she came home. When she is home, she loves cooking.
Oh.
And I needed to bake a cake. And so I told her, I know the way to do the cake. And she tells me, Dad, what you know is the traditional methods of baking a cake.
Okay.
Are you open to learn
new ways?
The new methods.
Yes.
Why is she telling me the traditional? Because she has seen me do it before.
You bake cakes?
Yes, I have done that.
Wow.
For them, during their birthdays, instead of going to the supermarket and buy a cake,
wow,
I do it for them in the house.
I like that.
Yeah?
I don't know how to do a cake.
You need to visit me.
Okay. Yeah.
So she has seen it. And at the opportune time, she said, I will teach Dad. Yeah? I've done it in sufurias, even when the oven is there, because I don't know how to use the oven. And so she says, now, that yours is traditional. You see, in that, can you imagine now what are we doing? Yeah. When we are, exchanging. I am trying to show her, even if it is traditional, hasn't it been good? wewe si umekuwa ukikula keki zangu.
Yes.
Yani saa hii ndio una discredit simply because nimewabaia oven. Yeah?
Yes.
Anasema umebai na umebai hiyo oven ndio tukufundishe how to do it.
Wow.
Isikae tu hivyo. You see, I am taught, she's also learned. Before she went to college, she knew how to do it the traditional way. But now she has been corrected by the learning. And she wants to transfer that knowledge back home to me, to the mother, and to the siblings. Yeah? So, what we are saying is, in authoritative, it strikes the balance between being firm and being warm and supportive.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah.
You are firm, but you are warm and supportive. Where it calls for correction, you want to do a correction, you are not doing it with all power and authority. You are taking it as a lesson.
Wow.
Yeah? You are training. That's where Proverbs 22:6 comes in.
Yes.
Train up a child. Yeah? In a way he should go.
And when he
grows, he will not depart. That's the role of the parent. Train.
Yeah.
In authoritative style of parenting,
there is training. But
there is teaching.
Authoritarian
is do as I say and not as I do.
That's authoritarian.
That's authoritarian.
Yes.
Yeah. Do what I'm saying. My father was a drunkard before he passed on. He was known to be a drunkard and a very good drunkard.
Wow.
But he couldn't allow either any of his sons or daughters to get into drinking. Utachapwa, utagongwa vibaya. Don't do what I am doing. This is for me. This is not for you. Get it? That's authoritative.
That's authoritarian.
Yeah.
Yes.
But authoritative, there is debate.
And Dad, teach by example.
Dad, you have found me drinking. Yes.
Do you drink?
What is wrong with that drinking?
Oh.
Tell me what is wrong.
And you are ready to sit and listen to their point.
If you tell me what is wrong with the drinking, then tell me why do you drink? Yourself. There is that conversation which is very, very good. In this authoritative style, if there are rules and regulations that are set for the family, there is a discussion. There is a discussion on those rules and regulations. So it's not being forced. There is no force that is being used. You will be firm because you know why you want it done. But you also want to allow them to adopt that rule and that regulation by accepting it because they have been a part and a parcel of forming it. Yeah? So, if you set rules when they were very young, as they grow, you need to relax those rules and begin to involve them in the setting up of the
rules.
Get it? So, what time should we go to bed? This is not now what I was saying by 8.
Kila
mtu kwa kitanda. Sasa they are teenagers. We have to agree. We will go to bed, but not at your time.
At the agreed time.
At our time. And I say no. It's not at your time. It is the time that we want to agree together. Do you know why? Because I don't want to struggle waking you up in the morning as you go to school.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go and doze in class. So I'll not allow you to stay on that television or on that phone or on that video game, until 10 in the night. For the sake of your tomorrow, it is healthy for you to go to bed a little bit earlier. Are we in agreement in that? Yes. Right? So they will not feel pushed. They will feel they are also part of it. You see, there are also it also allows you to hold children accountable.
Oh,
because
yeah.
we have set this, we have said we do this together. I am able to hold, as a parent, I'm able to hold them accountable if they don't do what they do. They never did. And they are also able to hold me accountable as a parent.
Yeah.
Did I also do as per the expectation?
Yeah.
Yeah? Am I able to fulfill what was meant for me to be fulfilled for them or for the family?
Yeah.
Yeah? I learned a lesson, Reverend, from my son. Our first car, he really loved our first car. And then, to me, it was becoming a thorn in the flesh because of the money I was putting in every time repairing. So one day, I just found somebody who asked me, can you sell me this car? And I said, why not? I sold the car, and I went and bought another one immediately. So I still went home with a car, but not the very first one. So when we got home, my son asked me, Dad, where is our car? Where is our car? This is not ours. Isn't that a lesson?
It's yours. You made choice alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took time for him to accept why I had to sell the car and buy this new one. For him, repairing is not the issue. He is happy with it.
He likes its looks.
Saa ile anaona nikiingia chini. Saa ile anaona nikifungua bonnet. Hiyo ndio anataka. You know? He is not understanding the pain that I'm going through. But it is that which has made him to own it.
Yes.
And that taught me a lesson. That anything I bring to the family belongs to all of them. And therefore, even before I dispose, we have to agree.
Authoritative.
It's very, very important.
Yes.
This one is about coaching, is about guiding, is about utilizing natural and logical consequences.
Yes.
Natural and logical
consequences.
Utilize that because that is at your disposal. So that's about authoritative style of parenting.
We are out of time.
Yes, sir.
Can you list the other few that you have? Yeah. Maybe we'll not say much. Maybe we'll say much about them later. And then maybe you can, finally, after you list them, you can face the camera and talk to some authoritarian parents who are doing more harm to their children than good.
Thank you. There are other two.
That
psychologists list. One is called permissive. And the other one is called free range.
Free range
parenting. But I earned the fifth one, which I call uninvolved. Yes.
Free mode.
You know, the parent is not involved. You are is that carefree attitude.
Yes.
I think in our next session, I will get a little bit deeper into that so that we can get into details.
And the very worst, very bad style of parenting.
Yes.
Carefree.
The worst of it is that uninvolved. Yes. Yesterday, I was burying a 19-year-old boy who died yesterday as a result of a motorcycle accident. Now, while in the burial, when I actually invited all the border guys who are there to come and I pray for them. Immediately I prayed, there arose a commotion. And the commotion came as a result. There are some guys who are saying the father of this boy is here. Why wasn't he taken the photo? I hadn't known that the father is there. So I wanted to ask, why was the father not taken a photo? And I was told, we don't know him. This young boy was brought up by the grandfather and the grandmother, because when he was given birth to, after maybe a year or two, the mother died. And the man was not there. So he was not involved from birth of the child. He never paid for the maternity. He never bought anything. He knows he has a son.
So at the burial of the boy, they say...
That is when he is appearing. Now that the boy has died, that's the time he is appearing. Because he has handed the boy as... So where were you all this time? And so when I handed that, I asked those who are quarreling that he be taken a photo. I asked him, if he is a father to this boy, where has he been? Did he even know when the son was dying? Was he responsible? Did he take care? Did he even pay the mortuary bill? So, he does not have that right. All right? Yeah. Well, eventually I said, let him be taken a photo. For that respect. That he's sired.
He's a father. Yeah, he's sired. Boy. Yeah.
He is a father, but he's not a dad.
He's a father?
But he's not a dad.
Wow.
That's a topic for another day.
We must finish because we are out of time.
Yes.
Please address the authoritarian parents.
You parent who has been very a disciplinarian and very dominant in your parenting, I want to ask you to relax. Relax your rules, relax your regulations, relax your authority. That will help you to connect well with your children. It will help you to bond with your children so that you can be able to walk with these children in their life. You will love them. They are not as bad as you have labeled them. They are not as bad as you say they are. If only you calm down and come to their level. Don't ask the children to come to your level. Go down to their level. You'll be able to see how good your children are, and you'll be able to move together. God bless you. Please work on it, and God will help you.
Wow, asante sana daktari, and you have heard it for yourself. No matter what you do, we are talking about parenting. Give time to your children and love them and be a good communicator. Don't be an authoritarian. These parents that appear all the time angry at the children, harsh and shouting, and you look like you don't want peace. You are like out for war every morning. That's not the way to bring up children. And I pray those who are exerting authoritarian parenting, you'll calm down and you still can be firm, but still be supportive to your children. So valuable that you have talked to us, Daktari, and God bless you. And we have to call it a day, and I invite you, please keep your ideas coming to us and text and tell us what more we can tackle in the next session. And from me and my guest, Dr. Nyaga, is bye-bye.